What's up everybody, it's your boy natedizzy here, coming at you with another quick Fortnite tutorial video. Now today we are going to talk about how I do my fastest 90s. Now I said that right, it's fastest. Now of course you have the regular 90s, just something like this, and I'm only doing singles just to show you what I mean. And then of course you have your reverse 90s, which is when you're coming up and you do this kind of a number, which is very fancy looking. It's very extra, and it is definitely faster than the regular 90s if done correctly. And then you have the fastest 90s, which look basically like this. If I can and then you have your fastest 90s, which looks something like this. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about What's up everybody, it's your boy natedizzy here, coming to you with another Fortnite tutorial. Now in today's video, I'm going to show you how I do my fastest 90s. Of course, you have several methods of doing my 90s, three main ones. You have your regular 90s, which are like this, kind of a round circular motion like that. Then you have your reverse 90s, which do not look like that. Then you have your reverse 90s, which look something like that. I can't do reverse 90s properly because of my building binds are made so that I can't move diagonally, which you kind of have to do in order to do reverse 90s properly. And then you have your fastest 90s, which are something like this. Now, if that looked easy to you, that's because I figured out recently a way to do it that was much easier than what I was doing before. Now, initially, I would do something like this. I would do this like flick up and look down. But I realized a couple days ago that if you want to really do this most consistently and easily, you really don't have to do that. So we're going to go over through this step by step just to show you exactly how to do it. Now if you're initially learning 90s, this may be the best way to go ahead and start learning because you will learn placement and how to do it. So I would start here just because your 90s will be faster, they'll be more useful in games, and you'll start to understand how placement works and how simple things can be. Sometimes you're doing a lot of big motions and a lot of big stuff and you don't really need to. Sometimes it's much simpler than you're making it. Now, starting off, you need to make sure that you can do your simple but effective ramp walls. Very easy, very easy. It's all about timing and you know where you're looking. So you're going to be looking up to place the ramp and back down to place the wall. If you look too high when you place the wall, you'll do this. So make sure that as you're coming up, you're looking down to place the wall, back up, down, up, right? Now once you've got your walls, wall ramps down, what you're going to do is you're going to just take your time, go into your menu, go ahead and come down to sprint by default and turn it off. I recommend this for everybody, even if you're an advanced player just looking for a slight tip, because this will help you to see the timing of this. But you're going to come up to the top. I always go to my second ramp just so it's easier to knock this down. You're going to look straight ahead, as in, you know, even with the ground. So you don't want to be looking down. You want to be looking straight ahead. You're going to figure out exactly where the second wall happens here. Now this point where the second wall happens is where you should have made your turn, okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to come up, and that's where you're going to make the turn. You're going to jump, and you're going to place your floor and your ramp. Now I only placed a ramp there just because, you know, for ease of doing it, but it is vitally important that you place the floor because it will prevent you in the, you know, once you get past doing just one, to do, you know, further. And you can actually do 4 90s with this method. So you're going to come up, you turn right where you would have placed this wall, and you're going to jump it at that point, and you're going to place your floor and your ramp. So just like that. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. This is the fastest way you can do 90s because there's the least amount of movement. You do not hit the wall. Basically, there is no wall to hit, even if you wanted to hit it. And this is basically going to train you exactly where the timing is for doing your 90s. This will actually help you do regular 90s faster, as well as doing your reverse 90s better, because this will teach you exactly, if you don't already know, where to turn, which way you should be looking, and how to not hit that back wall. Of course, once you've got it down with sprint by default off, you're going to come back in, turn sprint by default back on. You should obviously be using sprint by default because it makes it easier, and you're going to start doing multiple, okay? I would start off with 2. So just do 2. Okay, failed. So you're going to come down here and you're going to start doing 2. I would start with just doing, god damn. So once you've got the hang of doing a single with sprint by default on, you want to go ahead and start doing 2. As you can see there, so what you're gonna do, once you turn sprint by default back on, you're just gonna practice doing your singles. Now, once you get used to the singles, you're gonna want to move on to doing multiple. Now, doing multiple is a little bit different, as you have to immediately continue the 90-degree turn, basically. And you may have some issues with that. As you saw there, I underjumped the third 90. Now, what this is caused by is basically trying to rush through it. Also, right there, I placed an extra wall, which is always okay. Extra protection is always okay, and you will probably not hit the wall. Just make sure you're not rushing these 90s, because if you're rushing the 90s, what's going to happen is, first off, you're not going to do them right. You're probably going to fall or Harry Potter yourself and miss, a particular key. God damn it, this tutorial is not good.